we don't show prep. So, so he had no idea.
I just barely make it in.
I'm sure you can tell, but we don't show.
I mean, let's put the cards down on the table here.
Miami Hurricanes, yeah. You know the name already. It's Mercy. Ha ha. It's a 6-ring Kane show. Can't forget the name though. Got Jazz, Blu, Fishy, DJ, break the game code. Ain't no changing them, ain't no breaking them. Real important live from the Hard Rock Stadium. Ball 14 for the orange and green. We see the 6-ring champs. It's more than a dream. This is life on the field. Beyond 100 yards, a hurricane that's never still put a damage to your squad. The 6-ring Kane show. The 6-ring Kane show. The 6 Rings Kane show. You know.
What's wrong with us? Seriously.
What's wrong with us? We're Miami Hurricanes fans.
Welcome to the 6 Rings Kane Show, a show dedicated to Miami Hurricane sports, featuring the legendary Larry Bluestein, Jazz Santana, Vish, and Danny Gillette. Let's go Canes.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the 6 Rings Kane Show. It's finally here. We are 1 week away, and the Miami Hurricanes have made it to the national championship game. How sweet does it feel to hear that? It's been 23 long-ass years, but we're finally back in the biggest game that the Miami Hurricanes have played in quite some time, and the biggest game in the history of Hard Rock Stadium. The first ever time that a college football team has played in their home stadium in a national championship game. So it's pretty exciting that the Miami fans will be able to see their hometown team play right there at home. We'll get into all of that. Obviously, they're playing the Indiana Hoosiers. Not the Cinderella team, but a surprise team if you look at it from the beginning of the season, right? You saw them obviously dominate a lot of football games during the season, but I'll tell you why the Miami Hurricanes are going to kick their ass next Monday, and why Canes fans should be excited about this game, and why I think the Canes are definitely the team here that can put a whooping on Indiana. I mean, we got so much more to talk about, and also for you portal junkies and portal degenerates who are freaking out every 2 seconds. God forbid we're playing a national title game in 7 days. But for all of you that don't care about that clearly and only care about the transfer portal, we got some stuff for you as well. So we'll get into that also. Before we do that, let's give a shout out to our sponsor here real quick. It is 305-800-PAIN, baby. After an accident, every minute counts. With one call to 305-800-PAIN, you get immediate access to trusted doctors and attorneys who guide you step by step. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, they are a brand you can trust. Much like the 5 Reasons Canes, 305-800-PAIN is focused on the local community of Miami-Dade County and South Florida. They'll handle all your accident needs, including car accidents, personal injuries, and related legal matters. So after an accident, be sure to call 305-800-PAIN. The number is the brand, 305-800-PAIN. Después de un accidente, cada minuto cuenta. Con una llamada a 305-800-PAIN, ustedes pueden obtener acceso inmediatamente a doctores y abogados para ayudar con todo el proceso. Con una clasificación del A+ del Better Business Bureau, pueden confiar en ellos. 305-800-PAIN tiene mucho en común con 5 Reasons Canes. Están enfocados en la comunidad de Miami-Dade County y Florida del Sur. Ellos pueden ayudar con todo después de un accidente, incluyendo accidentes de carro, lesiones personales y otras cosas legales relacionadas. Entonces, después de un accidente, llama 305-800-PAIN. El número es el nombre de la marca, 305-800-PAIN. By the way, before we even get started, also, we got a big show for everybody on Sunday night as well. Typically, obviously, we do our shows on Monday, but it's obviously the night of the national championship game. So we are going to be spitting out a badass show on Sunday night as well. So stay tuned for more information on that. Vish and I guess we'll talk to you a little bit about that later. You're on mute.
Yeah, we'll be pushing out content all week. Jazz is going to be out at the events over the weekend too, and he'll be passing me stuff to post. We're going to have all sorts of stuff. So definitely, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Follow the Twitter, Six Rings Kings. You'll get all the updates there. Where this week is crazy. We don't have the we're running 2-minute drill here, so you might see us, score a touchdown, whatever. So just stay tuned and you'll see it. We're gonna have a lot of content just pumping out throughout the week, and obviously we'll do. I think day of post game would be difficult given the.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. However,
given the aftermath, but we're targeting a Tuesday show as well. So again, stay tuned to the network as well.
We are working on a cross promotion because we are working on a potential 5 reasons. I'm sorry, excuse me. 5 reasons. I guess it is 5 reasons. 6 Rings Canes / Miami Flow show as well at the stadium on Monday for some time. So we may have some special guests come out and do something like that, and we'll have some fun with it. We're going to try to work something out. Hopefully we'll get it out there for you. But Big Lex from Miami Mayhem, obviously Flow, and some other cats on that Flow show, and obviously some of the guys on our network as well are going to try to bring you some content. But myself, Vish, Blue, we will all be at the game as well, and we will. And we paid a nominal price for parking, considering what the prices. The prices are stupid. Stupid.
Yeah. They take it away from the fans who support the teams. Believe me,
it's a shame. It's a shame because
it is a shame.
It's a.
Where were all these guys when Miami was 6-6? Come on now.
It's typical Miami stuff, though. Let's bump up the prices.
Well, it's not just that.
Not Miami.
It's not just Miami.
It's not just Miami fans. India has the largest alumni base in the country, and they've never. 2 years ago they were to where they are now.
The easiest program in college football.
Yeah, to where they are now. So obviously their fans are excited and they're willing, and they have enough of them where some of them are willing.
They've been saving all this money for 100 years.
When you have 850,000 alums or whatever, that's just the alums. There's fans that aren't alums too that are from that state. There'll be plenty with money that are willing to spend it for this, what they probably think is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Although maybe it's not. They might have staying power. We don't know. But, for them, this is all new. And for us, it feels pretty new as Jess. It's been 23 years. So I think if you had Georgia and Alabama playing or something, like we do this every year, you wouldn't see these prices. But these are two. We haven't, we haven't been in since basically most of these players were born, and India has never been here. So you have 2 fan bases that have a lot of people supporting it. We don't have the big alumni base, but we have an entire city, one of the largest in the country. There's a lot of people here with money. And then Indiana has the largest alumni base in the country. And both is new for both of them. People are going to spend money. Those prices, I'd be shocked if they come down at all. Because it's
90% of those guys. Go ahead, Vish. I'm sorry.
No, it's 70,000 stadium holds, something like that. They'll easily find 70,000 out of those pools of people that'll pay these obscene prices. So
yeah. Well, 90% of those people up until last year had never stayed till the end of a game there. So John Cougar Mellencamp's the only one.
You could say the same. I've stayed for the end of our games too, Blue, and that's a pot calling the kettle black.
I think when we were winning, people weren't staying.
I know. It's I'm the one sitting there in the fourth quarter, but I don't leave early. What else? Let's get out of here. It's a 20. Nope, I stay till the whole thing.
Well, that's going to be extra security. I think the president's hanging out too. He's stopping by.
I bet he is. I bet everybody wants to come now to this one. So, and I'll be honest with you. I think it's hilarious that up until not up until, but last week, it seemed like some of the media was starting to figure it out. Some of the people were starting to figure it out. I mean, I even told some of my friends, I'm like, I don't know what it's going to take for you or for people, period, even our own fan base, to realize how good of a football team we are. Because you keep doubting us and you keep doubting us and you keep doubting us, and you think that we're a bad matchup for this, and not going to be able to do this, and we're not going to be able to do that. And let's be honest, right? Let's just throw it out there. Throw the scoreboard away, and even though the scoreboard has put it in our favor every single game, we have absolutely dominated every single game that we have played in the playoffs. And that is something that I just don't think people are really realizing, right? Maybe some of us are, but at some point, listen, I'll take it, right? I want all the doubters. I want all the haters. I want the underdog mentality for all these guys, because they continue to kick everybody's ass with that. But my point is, like, you keep on talking trash, and you keep on thinking we're no good, and you keep on thinking we're no good. Even our own fan base, right? Gets nervous. Hey, I don't know if we can do it this time.
We're going to get crushed. Oh, my God. Did you see how they did to Oregon?
Yeah, did you see what Ohio State did to this team and that team? Look at Texas A&M. They got the best, and I mean, the teams aren't helping themselves out, right? Putting out all this bulletin board material. But again, what I'm trying to get at again is when is our own fan base going to figure out how freaking good we are, man? Like, this is just, it's unbelievable, right? Let's go out there and let's kick some ass, and that's it. Stop going crazy so much about, oh my God, I don't know, Fernando Mendoza this, and Keelan Black this, and Amari Cooper this, and this, that, and the other, and blah. And I'm like, have you seen? Anyways, I can go on and on and on.
Yeah, hey, Google us, we win.
Yeah, Google us. There you go. I like that. With all that being said,
so Jazz, I wanted to kind of open a little bit, because DJ and I were talking about this pre-show. We've actually beat Ole Miss to death. Like, we did 2 shows on that game, but you and Blue have not been on. So I wanted to get your thoughts. The
floor is yours, guys.
Because you guys never actually talked about that game. So we want you and Blue to kind of give us your thoughts on Ole Miss.
We'll chime in as needed.
That was,
we want to hear from you.
I know
guys.
it feels like, that was 3 days ago. It feels like a million years ago.
Yeah.
That was 3 days ago.
Yeah, it really does.
That was Thursday. It's Monday. Like.
Wow.
Poor Vince was dying. We were
so
trying to watch. He was so tired. I could tell. And
go for it. Yeah, go for it. What are your thoughts on the Canes performance?
Blue, you want to start? Go ahead, man.
Go ahead there, Jazz. I'll follow right up.
All right. Well, first of all, I almost got kicked out of my own house. Second of all, I almost passed out by standing up after our 4th dropped interception. After our 4th effing dropped interception. I almost lost my absolute mind. I broke a coffee table when we were winning. So
now for the good stuff.
Yeah, now for the good stuff. I did take a stroll around town with my flags up in the air. Listen, I was honestly, I was pretty excited about the game. Yeah, it was a nerve-wracking one because Miami kept shooting themselves in the foot, right? Like, if it wasn't for those mistakes, 10 turnovers again, we kind of reverted back to that undisciplined style football. If it wasn't for those 10, not only those 10 penalties, but just the mistakes that we made on the defensive side of the football as well, I think Miami runs away with this one. I think they completely blow them out. If it wasn't for that, blow them out might be a stretch, but I mean, could we not see 10 or 17 more points on the board considering all the mistakes that we did make? Right? I mean, the dominance was there, and holding back a guy like Trinidad Chambliss, props to him. I give him his flowers, because that kid is a hell of a football player, man. I don't care what anybody says. That kid is a stud. And did we catch some breaks? Absolutely, right? Kewan Lacey wasn't himself after that big run, so he didn't play a lot. But to be honest with you, I think you got to turn it around and not make it even about our defense. I think our offense. I think Carson Beck had one of his better games, just commanding the team as a whole, right? As a leader, the numbers may not show. He did have 3 touchdowns, right? Two 2 in the air, 1 running, and he threw that 1 pick, which is frustrating because it was inside the red zone. Again, that was another one that I almost threw myself through a glass.
That was a coffee table one.
That might have been. No, I think that was before the coffee table. But anyways, yeah. I mean, look, it's total dominance by the Canes. I think.
I mean that interception, I blame on the play call. It was after the false start. It's 3rd and 13, like at the 22 or whatever. It's so hard to complete that pass down there. We just drove down and missed a field goal. You got to get paid off on that. I was saying just throw. They were ISOing on the outside. Throw a jump ball to CJ. If he doesn't catch it, kick the field goal. Like I don't try to mess with that junk over the middle. It obviously got batted up in the air, but it just didn't feel like that was at that point when you have the lead and you just had a long drive that you didn't get paid off on because you missed a field goal. Then they had a drive and missed a field goal. It's like we got to capitalize this time and to risk trying to convert a 3rd and 13 in a tight area when you had the lead already didn't really make a lot of sense. But
I think they weren't in the red zone until like late in the second quarter, something crazy like that. We had like 3 drives of 15 or more plays. I mean, it was total dominance. And yeah, Pomco says it right. We played kind of like a B- game, and we still won that game, right? And typically, when you make that many mistakes, and you don't play your best football against a really good team like an Ole Miss, you tend to lose those games. And Miami still found a way. They put pressure on him when it mattered the most as well. I think Ruben Bain had a sneaky good game. I think the stats don't really say it, but he got the ball out really, really fast. So a big shout out to our secondary to be able to hold it down. Also, Jacoby Thomas obviously had a nice game. We were down Xavier Lucas after some time with a kind of a BS kind of call, but whatever. He was out. OJ Frederick didn't play the second half. Basically, he didn't play like the 3 quarters, I think, of the game. So, and then we had some other injuries. Moulton wasn't 20 kids with the flu. Like there was so much that didn't go our way, yet we still hung on and we played and we dominated that game. So, I'm really happy for the kids. I'm really happy for Coach Cristobal and the rest of that program. I think it was obviously a huge win for obvious reasons, right? We're now in the national championship game, but I think that it just kind of shows the dominance that the Miami Hurricanes have been able to accomplish in these playoffs, and still the media is still talking about this, Indiana team, how they're so nasty and so juggernauty. But who have they played? Anyways, go ahead, Blue.
First of all, Ole Miss was 13-1, guys. I mean, this wasn't just a regular team. I mean, it's a good SEC team that beat Georgia and had a really, really good year. And you're right. I mean, I think even if Miami picks 2 of those balls off, they win by 14 more points. I thought that the BS of the BS was Lucas's call because it's going to keep him out half this game. When earlier in the game, Malachi Toney got lit up so bad that both him and the other guy had to go into the tent. So that angers me when they don't call things like that. That's fair. And that, having Lucas out of the games, is going to test us a little bit. But I think where Miami really has been impressive is the front 7. The linebacker play, I told you guys last week, people don't understand how valuable Mohamed Touré has been to this team. The man knows how to play. He knows where to be. He knows the scheme. He knows everything because he's played this defense before. And I'm telling you, he's a guy that may not get those interceptions, but you watch him on every single play. Number 1's right there. He's chasing somebody. He's causing havoc. And I just think that in that game, Miami missed a lot of opportunities that they really need to start cashing in on. And I think they showed that I don't care what Indiana hasn't done. Listen, I'm tired of hearing how Indiana's going to beat Miami by 40 points, and this is not even going to be a game because if you know football and you've watched football, matchups are everything. And that offensive and defensive line of Miami kind of dictates a lot of stuff. And they went up against an SEC. I don't care. People want to minimize SEC because they didn't do well. They're still really good. They'll still have more players drafted in this NFL draft than anybody by far. So, I mean, this is that Ole Miss team, if you look defensively, linebacker-wise, they were really good. I mean, they were very active. When we did get to that second level, they were right there to make plays. So I just think that what I would much rather have Beck than any quarterback in the country because of his experience, especially in a game like that. His experience, he understands that he doesn't have to win games. All he has to do is manage and make plays, and he did. Doesn't throw long a whole lot, but, they don't need to, because if you're running the game, if you're running the ball, if you're not running the ball, then you got to back people off somehow. But they're running the ball, and they're going tackle to tackle. They haven't really run a lot outside, but I'll tell you what, godsend was Marty Brown, man. The guy's, he gets it. And I think he's been really valuable. But Miami's offensive line on offense is showing exactly why they're one of the best, if not the best in the country. And
Blue, you gotta give it up to, like you said, Carson Beck, but his connection with Keelan Merriam was
in that game like that.
Merriam showed up too, man. They were able to throw the ball down the field this time. Like when he has to, he gets it there, right? Like he makes some pretty decent throws, and they try.
He does.
And so he had some big plays down the field on third down, and especially in that last drive, I think that was huge. He definitely took over right there. He didn't necessarily win us the game, but he put us.
But he kept them in the game to win it.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. And I mean, he's just, I'll tell you, a lot of other quarterbacks on that play where he scored might have tried to force it into somebody instead of running it. They might not have been as patient, like he was. He waited to the very last, read to come off, and he saw that he really didn't have anybody, and everybody was stacked to the right side. And me and you, Jazz, could have probably ran it in because there was nobody over it. Well, maybe you, but not me. But
or Blue, they would have just thrown it through the back of the end zone because that play. They recall that because I think one of the context on that play call is you only had one timeout left, and it was second down.
Yeah.
So if you ran on second down, you're going to use your last time. If you don't score, you call timeout. Then everyone knows you're throwing. Because you can't risk running, getting stuffed. You won't be able to get the field.
Yeah.
So that entire play was designed to either be throw into the end zone or incomplete. Because you want to save that time. I think at the third down, you still have your timeout. You can run or pass to keep the defense off balance. So, he kept his head, like you said. The running part was the easy part. The keeping your head, navigating the pocket was the hard part. Well, not just having your internal. Because, again, if you take a sack, disaster, right? There's a lot of bad things that can happen there that cause a lot of quarterbacks to just say the read's not there. I'm throwing this through the uprights. And he kept
inexperienced quarterbacks wouldn't let that play out like he did.
Yeah,
he let the entire play out, and a lot of people wouldn't do that. And I agree. And just the one thing is Miami continues they shoot themselves in the foot a little bit too much. You got to stop that. You got to limit.
It's the two things, Blue. It's the two things. It's the penalties came back, and as much as I'd like to say, that is who this team is. Let's be real. We've watched this team play 15 games now. There was twice where this didn't happen, and it happened to be the first two rounds of the play.
And that was an anomaly, right?
If we're going to say what's normal, it's this. And the second thing is the way the team plays, which is slowly and methodically driving it. When you do that, then you make the penalties. That's how you get the dominating on the field and not on the scoreboard. Statistically, Miami dominated that first half against Ole Miss more than Indiana dominated Oregon.
Yeah.
But it was 17-13 instead of 35-7. And that's because you make those penalties, you kill the drive because when you play the way Miami does, it does reduce your margin for error. You're not getting those chunk plays, those 25. You're getting 5, 6, 7. It's a lot less risky, and it's a lot more consistent, which is why they basically have not gone 3 and out. They keep moving the ball. But it reduces that margin for error. If you make the penalties, that's where the error comes in. And then the next thing you're kicking field goals instead of touchdowns, you're killing drives. And so, the penalties are part of this team's DNA, unfortunately. Our guy David Blade did his perfunctory, let me run into the center somehow. I don't understand. It's insane that keeps happening. We joked about 5 games ago, and he's literally done it in every game since then. I don't understand how he jumps off sides in every game. It's crazy. He lines up right over the center. But that is what this team does. They make those mistakes, right? And so, to me, that's kind of not surprising that happened. But I will say, the character the team showed, because this was very similar. You start getting into that situation on that last drive. It's very much the Louisville game. You're down 3, field goal ties it. And, Mario took a lot of crap for throwing. So I'm like, why don't you just run it and kick the field goal and go to overtime? Because you're trying to win the game. He tried to win the game here too, and he did. So, I mean, it's finishing some stuff that didn't finish. Because this was almost a mix, to your point, Jazz, and Blue. Ole Miss is a really good team. These are Final Four team, right? There's 4 teams left. One of the 4 best teams in the country. And Miami almost blended the SMU performance with the stupid penalties that kept killing drives. Should have been up more. Why we in this game? With the Louisville, last drive, we need to march this down the field. And we kind of have to convert these third downs. And they blended both those, and they won against a much better team than those 2 teams. Really, it's showing how much this team has grown, because they don't win that game in week 5 or 6.
That's true. It's true. That is it's a whole different game, I think, early in the season, and like you said, that shows the growth of this team. And I definitely want to give props to the depth of this team. Blue, Vish, we've all spoken of the DJ. We've all spoken about it for the last 2 or 3 years. How what he is doing is building depth, and how important the depth of a team is to being successful and to be able to win. And it showed. It didn't show more than in that game, right? You had Lucas out, Frederic out, Ahmad Moten out for some time, right? You had, Fletcher battling the flu. You had Marty Brown that you could just plug in there, right? You had Lofton goes out. Alex Bauman played really well. Lucas Gilbert got in and got some snaps. I mean, SJ came in and played a little bit of that tight end position as well to get some extra blocking in there. You saw the depth show up in the back end, right? Fitzgerald when Poyser went out for a little bit, when Thomas went out for a little bit. You saw so much, Chase Smith coming in and making some big plays at the linebacker position. You saw so many different guys come in and make an impact, and that's been the most important thing. Markel Bell played okay, right? He had some instances where Prince Will was able to get around him. That kid's a stud, or whatever his last name is. That kid's really good, man. But then you saw Okunlola step up and dominate. He was the highest rated offensive lineman in that game. I mean, there's so many different things that Miami did right that overcame all their dumb shit that they did. And that just shows because of their, that depth and that experience. And I understand, we'll talk about experience in a second, because Indiana's team averages 37 years of age, apparently. So, there's a lot that we're going to talk about there, but that depth of that experience really showed out in that game also. And you were able to tell how Miami was able to take advantage of some of those things. So, but now we got one more left, man, and it's the biggest one. It's the big game. It's a national championship game against. We can spin it however we want, right? It's a really good team. It's a hell of an Indiana football team that's going to come into Miami, and just based off of what they've done, right? As you mentioned, Vish, they have dominated. They've dominated every single game that they've played in the playoffs, and they've looked really, really good. Is that something to be concerned about, or is that something where, you know what, they looked really good against Oregon? Oregon played really awful, right? Like, they had one of their worst games. They had a lot of injuries also, and every single ball bounced Indiana's way. They capitalized, and that's what a good team does. They're very sound. They're very precise. They execute. They don't give up the ball. They don't, they don't have many penalties. So there's a lot of things they do right. They have, obviously, Fernando Mendoza, who has like an 85% completion rate, right? He's not making many mistakes right now. Is that something of a concern? And DJ, you've been kind of quiet, man. Talk to us. What do you see in this game? Do you think it's something to be concerned about after you saw how Indiana played in the playoffs so far?
I do think the game against Alabama was.
Take your Big Ten glasses off, by the way. All right, I don't want to hear this crap. All right.
Well, I mean, hey, I do think the game against Alabama was a little bit of a better litmus test than Friday's game against Oregon, because Oregon, I mean, they played awful, and they were down several guys due to injury, transfer portal. I think, Vish and I talked about it Sunday too. Like their running back depth was not strong at all. And,
well, they were down to the 4th-string running back. That's all.
Yeah. And so I think Alabama was honestly a better test for them than Oregon was. But, it would kind of be stupid for me to say, based off of who we were playing for any team, whether it be Indiana or anybody else, that, they're not who we think they are or whatever, because they're in the national championship game. They're there for a reason. And I think their body of work, especially during the regular season, they were able to come up with some impressive wins against Illinois and, play that Big Ten schedule, especially early in the season, and they took care of business against Penn State and things like that. I mean,
they almost didn't, but yeah, they did.
Yeah, I mean, they did it. And
that guy was one shoe size larger, they wouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, this Indiana team is good. Can Miami compete with them? Yes. Do I think anybody, Miami or Indiana, is going to blow the other one out? Absolutely not. I think, to kind of say that, oh, Miami doesn't deserve to be here because of this X, Y, Z, and they're not going to be good enough. Well, they're here. Oh, Indiana is not going to be good, and they don't deserve to be here. They have flaws. They're here too. I mean, it's the best of the best, and I think the whole argument for either team that they shouldn't be here or, that they're not good or that they're flawed, I mean, they're playing for the national championship. So I guess how flawed are they?
Yeah, I mean, you bring them. And by the way, shout out to Martin, our friend who is all the way on the other side of the world from Africa. We love it when he pops up to the game, man. This is something
Blue. Actually, real quick on Martin. He's got a prospect for you to look at. He needs to know how to pass you some information. He's apparently a rugby player in Africa.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how he should do that. He asked us yesterday during the show that DJ and I were doing. So he said he's probably not Miami quality, but might be like FIU quality at that level. So,
all right.
That's awesome.
So Martin I don't know how to get in touch with Blue, but actually just at Prep Red Zone, you can see it on the screen.
Yeah, if you're on X, just hit me up at Prep Red Zone with all the information.
There we go.
Just on my thing, or FloridaKids1 at AOL.com. I'm one of the very few that still has AOL.
It's AOL.com.
Probably one or two. I have so many contacts, I never wanted to change it. So
that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Don't ever change.
Yeah, look at this. We're back in the championship game. Blue's bringing it back. It's all coming together. It's all coming together.
Still dial-up, Blue, or is it more modern?
No dial-up, DJ.
AOL was huge back then, so it's all coming back. It's all coming back.
I'm the only one keeping them alive with my $18.99 a month little paycheck or something.
I love it. Well, yeah, send that over, Martin. He'll put always them in contact.
Yeah, we'll get them, Martin. Get them over there.
But look, he brings up a great point, Vish, and I wanted to throw this to you really quick because everybody talks about how tough Indiana is, right? They are a tough program, but we're talking about now you're facing the toughest program in college football. I don't care what anybody says. There's no denying that at this point. Miami is the toughest, the meanest team in the country. Indiana's schedule was decent. It was okay, right? It was a big win at Oregon during the season, and probably the other big win.
Penn State. And,
Penn State was a shitty team.
Ohio State. You know what?
Ohio
All right.
State in the Big Ten, 13-10. And I know we don't want to throw scores out there because anybody can throw scores out there, be scoreboard looking, and it doesn't really matter. But the point is, I can't name a team that Indiana has played that has the physicality and the size that Miami does. Not even Ohio State, because I don't think Ohio State was as tough or as mean a team as Miami was. We saw it, obviously. But as he mentions, right, we average on our line 330 pounds. And I think their line average is 278 or so. Their biggest guy is 6 feet, 302. Markel Bell is 6'9", 345, I think, or something along those lines, right? So right then and there, you obviously have a size and strength advantage, but they're very good in the way they scheme up, right? With their
very well coached
coordinator is very good. However, if there's anybody that I trust around here, it's Coach Alex Mirabal and Coach Corey Heatherman on the other side of the football as well, with our defensive line going up against They got a tough offensive line as well, but in the trenches, I think, is where Miami makes their money, and there's nobody better than them, Vish. Talk to me about what you see, and as far as your concerns, if any, right? Because, so you may not be concerned. I know you're one to kind of talk and say, we're going to kick their ass, right? And you're very confident about that. And rightfully so, right? We've kind of seen it this year, how we've been able to really dominate a lot of football teams. Talk to me a little bit about what you're seeing there with regards to our size, our strengths versus their weakness, and vice versa, and how that might play into this game.
Yeah, so I've not gotten through their full season yet. I've spent the last several days watching back some of their old games, and it is a lot. I think there's a recency bias to the way people are describing this game because they blew out. Look, it's Alabama, it's Oregon. These are name brands, and they killed them. I think there's a recency bias to them. It was not all, they're 15-0, so full credit to them. But these were not, there was a big struggle. Iowa blew that game completely. The way the end of that game went down is Iowa intercepted the ball, ran it back into field goal range to hit what should have been the winning field goal, missed the field goal, and then called a zero coverage blitz on the next play. Indiana threw a touchdown on the one, threw a little slant. He housed it. It's like, oh, we lost. And this was, by the way, with their backup quarterback because their starter got injured in the first quarter. Penn State was terrible this year. That was not a good performance from India. Now, in a way, that shows the character, right? Because they gutted it out anyway, even when they weren't playing well. Because I think the one thing you can say about this Indiana team is when they press the advantage, they press it. Like, once they get you down, they kill you. And that's where you see these lopsided scores. Like Illinois, they got on early, and then
that was their biggest. I thought that was their best win because
and keep in mind going into that game, Illinois was favored. Illinois was ranked 9th. Indiana was ranked 19th. Illinois was supposed to beat them. Would they beat them 63-10 or something ridiculous? Because they got when they get you, and they did the same thing at Oregon. Once they pin you, like they kill you. They're like sharks. The blood hits the water. So when you can avoid that. A lot less impressive. They kind of mess around a little bit. There's nothing I look at where I say they're really the best in the country at doing that. I feel like they're the most complete team from the standpoint of there's not like a huge weakness. Like against Ole Miss, you're like, we got to run the football. Like their run defense is not. Because you don't really have that in Indiana. But you also don't have just looking at and this is not to denigrate their players, but this is the fourth, obviously, playoff game for the Canes. This is by far the worst wide receivers they faced. If you think about who A&M's running out there, who Ohio State's running out there, and who Ole Miss is running out there, like these receivers aren't as good as those guys.
But they're productive, though.
But they're good. Really they're good. That's not saying they're bad. Yeah. Like they might be top 10 in the country, but they're still worse than what the Canes have had to defend.
I like their receivers better than Ole Miss's receivers. I think Surratt and Cooper and Becker are really good.
Very good.
I think right. It's just my opinion. I agree. I just think their court Chambliss is. I think Chambliss is better than Mendoza, but whatever. That's another conversation. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would agree on all those points, Jazz.
I think the depth is much stronger at Ole Miss. They go 5-6 deep, and they just keep running guys out there. They're all
that I agree with. Yes, absolutely.
And so when you have a team like Miami who starts running out of DBs, that's a much bigger problem than having one or two guys to stop. But I think Ohio State is the best wide receiver in the country, and the Canes handled it. So there's that, right? There's nothing that I look at and be like, they are by far the best in the country at this. But then there's also another thing I look at, like, that needs to be better. Like, for example, Miami can clearly say, like, the penalties are terrible. Like, that's stuff that, like, bad teams do, and the Canes get away with it. There's nothing on Indiana like that. But there's also, like, Jazz already kind of tipped my hand a little bit here, but as I've been watching these games, I don't see anything here that scares me. Like, sorry, I just don't. I don't know. I think we could bully them. We bully everyone. Why wouldn't we bully them? And they don't bully everyone. I think it's a misconception. If you start watching their games, that's not what happens.
Yeah, I just think I agree with you. You can't get down on this team by too much. You can't make too many mistakes because they will capitalize. Right? They don't make a lot of mistakes, so that's the team. That's a team where you have to play sound football. But if you play sound football, look, you may make a penalty here or there, and that's okay, right? 4 or 5 penalties in the game. It's something that you can kind of expect from Miami. But I think that if you play sound football, I think we can dominate them. And that's not a far-fetched. That's not something that's far-fetched. I don't understand how the line, how people are freaking out about this line saying, oh my gosh, Indiana's going to dominate them and kill them. I don't see it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I'm not saying that my Indiana can't win. Of course, like DJ said, everybody is good right now. Everybody's awesome. This is the best of the best in college football.
Yeah.
You got to play good to win, bottom line. Yeah. And if Miami plays good and they dominate this, the trenches and how we were talking about, I just don't see how Indiana can beat them when it comes to that. I like the matchup. I think Indiana's a hell of a team. I think they're really, really, really good, actually. I'm kind of like cautiously optimistic again, but I just feel like we got a good shot, man. I feel like I had the same feeling with Ole Miss, except I knew that their offense was scary, man. Their offense was nasty, and you had to put up points to beat them. I think you can control this game again. We like to play a little bit slower. I know they do some good things, but as someone mentioned in the chat, Fernando Mendoza might think he's playing last year's defense and go, "Oh shit, this is not last year's defense." So I'm just excited for the game. I think it's going to be a great game, but I think Miami could definitely pull this one off and win.
One thing I did notice about Indiana, I mean, because I've basically watched an entire season of them too, is that they're very precise in everything they do. They're very precise with their routes. They're very precise. Mendoza is very precise in terms of his rapport with his receivers, and they rely a lot on timing. Mendoza and Surratt love the back shoulder fade type of throws because that allows him to, kind of get up on the corner. Mendoza likes the high percentage plays because, 5 or 6 yards, that puts their running game at a better advantage. Yep. If the Miami defensive line is able to dominate and throw off that timing piece, that to me is probably the biggest X factor of this game, because as good as they are and as good and as much as they are good with their timing and how much they rely on it, if you mess that up and you get in Mendoza's head, kind of like we saw with Sane a little bit a couple games ago, then I think Miami will have the edge in that way. If for some reason, and I don't know why, Miami's defensive line does not get pressure, then that would be a major cause for concern.
Yep, I agree. You got to make sure that kid has to make some quicker than he wants to decisions, and he'll make some mistakes. He'll throw some picks. Yeah. We got to hope.
I would say the other thing here is, and again, this is a flaw of the way Miami plays, but when the Hurricanes dominate games, it doesn't necessarily show up on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Indiana almost has the opposite. They will not be dominating nearly as much as the scoreboard shows when you watch these games. Either they're so good at capitalizing on other teams' mistakes. Like I just heard an example. We played that third quarter. We played against Ole Miss. We keep driving and not scoring against this team. They will score back at us when we made that. And so that's what their superpower is. As DJ said, they're very precise. They're very exacting, and they pounce on every mistake. Even if you watch the Alabama game, they obviously killed Alabama. I mean, it was 10-0. Alabama was driving. And, Simpson converted the fourth down to keep the drive alive, got crushed, got injured, fumbled. That turned it really quickly because that was towards the end of the half. They were going to punch that in for at least 3, maybe 7. Going into the half down 3. Instead, their quarterback gets knocked out of the game. Indiana recovers the fumble. They go down and score before the half anyway. It said 17-0. You got the backup quarterback. And then it just spiraled from there.
Yeah.
I mean, that was more competitive when you look back at it. Not that India wasn't clearly better. Not that India didn't kill them. But, there was a couple of plays here and there where that's a lot closer. And, I mean, Oregon, everyone saw it. I mean, Oregon might as well not showed up the way they prepared for that game and played it. I don't.
Yeah.
I get the excuses of kind of insane that they ran out of running backs. And if you're moving guys from defense to offense into your 2 deep the week before a semifinal game, you're screwed. I mean, that's just not going to work. But also, they didn't look prepared at all. This is a team they played. I know both their assistant coaches took head coaching jobs. I don't know if that impacted their preparation, but this is a team they played a lot better earlier in the season. And they came in looking like they had never seen Indiana play before, even though they played them. It was really a bizarre performance. And once they got hit in the mouth, they flatly just quit. I mean,
yeah.
So obviously the Canes aren't going to do that. I don't think Alabama quit. I think Alabama just got beat. I think Oregon quit, which is really something you don't see a lot of in the playoffs. So I don't know what that was.
Luck Buck, we'll get to the X factors in just a second, especially we'll go to you, Blue, on that first. But before that, just to answer this quick question on the on some of our players, right? I know some of our players were hurt. I know Mario Cristobal spoke about it in his press conference today that most of them are good to go. Specifically talking about Ahmad Moten, OJ Frederick, Damari Brown is still kind of a day-to-day guy, and Elijah Lofton is still in the air as well. But it's good news that OJ and Ahmad Moten are ready to go. That they are healthy and they're good. So, but another guy that is going to miss only a half is Xavier Lucas. So he will be suspended for the first half after that targeting call, but he will be available for the second half. So, DJ, do you think that really affects anything for the Hurricanes going into this game? That he'll be gone, he'll be out for that first half.
That's a good question because, like you said, if you give Indiana an inch, they'll take a mile. So maybe they see that and they're like, okay, maybe there's a little bit of a mismatch here. I mean, ideally, hopefully not, but with this Indiana team, you don't want to give them anything to kind of take advantage of. So maybe that's something to watch. I can't give you a definitive answer, and I know I just gave you some roundabout BS, but yeah, I mean, it really is an interesting question because you kind of wonder if Indiana takes advantage of that.
Here's the way I see it. And Blue, Ethan O'Connor had a pretty good game against Ole Miss, right? He was kind of like the next man up there, especially with OJ and Xavier out. But hats off to Jabari Antoine. The freshman kid came in, and he played his ass off, man. Like, you got to give it to him. They went after him right away. And he was, he was able to defend himself a little bit. But I think that with the depth that we have there and potentially if we get Damari Brown back, then I don't think there's any question that we'll be fine, especially that first half. But you got guys like Keontae Scott and even Dylan Day played, and he missed it. He dropped that interception, but he even came in and got some playing time. So, I mean, Blue, would you agree we should be okay at that?
Yeah. I agree. I think they'll just – I mean, they're not – I mean, they're working without him right now, and probably he's not working with the first team at times because they know that half is a long time. It's especially in a game like this, a half is a long time. But I think that they're probably schooled enough, and I think that they're deep enough where they could overcome something like that. I just think that the front seven will kind of make that a lot easier for them too. I just think you're going to see Corey Heatherman dial up some shit that we haven't seen, and I just think that he knows how to go after the quarterback.
He's in cycle mode right now for sure.
Look at the first 3 plays at A&M game. They went right after his ass, man. I mean, and that's, and listen, Mendoza's resilient and he's 40 years old and all that stuff. But you know what? What's the difference? And, he's been around. He's played a lot of football. But if somebody's in his ass and somebody like a Bain or a Messador or any of those guys are chasing him down, I mean, he's Heisman. He's great, but he's not going to get away from them consistently. Just doesn't have the foot speed.
Right.
So they're going to scheme, and they're going to play dominoes, and they're going to play chess, and they're going to play every game possible to try to match whatever Miami's doing. And that's why they're here, and they're 15-0. The adjustments are going to be so key in this game. In Miami early on in the year, in some of those games, made adjustments. The other team made adjustments, and they didn't readjust. They've become a lot better over the last 6 weeks. So listen,
the one thing I'll say on the corners is, look. So I think I know he said OJ's fine. We'll see. He tried to give it a go, and like Jess, I think on the same run, Lacey got hurt on. He chased him down and also got hurt. And then we didn't really see him again against Ole Miss. If he's healthy, then you have him and Ethan and Keontae and Jacoby and Poyser, and that's not even including Bryce Fitzgerald. Like, you're not really going off of your normal guys that play. Now, if he's out too, that's when Jabari Antoine has to come in. But like you said, he's done fine. He obviously got roasted by Jeremiah Smith in that touchdown, but who doesn't? But he's been fine. But also, I think Indiana will make a big mistake if they see him out there and say, let's try to attack him. That's not what they do. They're very balanced. They're a progression-based team. They don't really it's not like Ohio State where they're trying to throw Jeremiah Smith on every play. That's not what their offense is. And if they come in trying to get out of sorts to try and exploit that supposed weakness, which I don't really think is there, if Xavier Lucas isn't in the game, I think that'd be a mistake on their part. I think they're probably too smart to do that. I don't know that we'll even notice, to be honest. I will say the one thing that concerns me is after the half, actually. This is going to be a high. Parrish asked, what's the, is it, given that it's at home, is that an advantage, a disadvantage? I think from a crowd standpoint, it's probably going to be closer to 50-50 than like a home crowd, just the way the tickets are distributed and the amount of Indiana people that are coming in. But it's going to be nervous for everyone. I don't care how many big games you played in.
If you're not nervous,
first sequences,
right?
These first sequences, everyone's going to be a little on edge. I mean, we saw it in the Cotton Bowl, right? Carson's first 2 throws were shaky, and then Ohio State came back and did the exact same thing. Both teams lost a bunch of yards and punted the ball back and forth. And those are. And Ohio State played in the championship and won it last year, and they still had those. You get those jitters. My concern with Xavier Lucas is you bring him out there in the second half. Everyone else has kind of settled down. They're in game mode now. Now he's gotten out there for the first time. He has to sit a half. So him adjusting to being out there, I think, is the only concern I have there, because he's going to come into a game that's already mid. Everyone's kind of up to game speed now and just playing football, and he's got to kind of catch up to that. But I don't think it's going to be. I don't. Again, I'd be much more worried against the team that had more. I'm not talking about the quality of their starters, that had more depth at receiver, that could rotate 5 and 6 guys in like Ohio State does, like A&M does, like Ole Miss does. I think we have enough in the secondary to handle their starters as well as we're going to, and that's what I mean. We're going to handle it just as well as we. I don't think there's that big of a drop off from our top 3 to our 4th and 5th.
Right.
So I think we'll be okay.
Really quick, Luckbuck says, we know neither coaching staff has gotten this far before. Yes, they have. Signetti's been to a national championship with Alabama. Mario Cristobal has been to a national championship with Alabama. I know this exact coaching staff on each side hasn't, but they've got some experience in these big games. Signetti, Mario, some of these guys have got some big game experience. So I wouldn't necessarily, again, as you mentioned though, Vish, yes, it's going to be interesting to see how they manage the game clock with all the nerves and everything riding on this game. But I think that, again, you're in this position, you're in this game for a reason, man. You know what you're doing. You're ready to go. You're focused. You're prepared. And I think that you're going to see that from both teams. I just think that at the end of the day, the talent might be able to overpower another team, and you never know, right? So we just gotta stay focused and play the game that Miami knows how to play, and we should have a great opportunity to win this game. So I'm excited to see it. Before we move on to some other things, somebody mentioned X Factor. We did want to talk about some keys to this game. Although, remember, we will have a big show Friday night as well, kind of previewing the game the day after. So make sure you lock it in.
You mean Sunday night, the day before?
I'm sorry, Sunday night. The night before.
We'll figure out time. We're working on timing. I don't think DJ will be able to make it because he also covers the Patriots, who those bastards keep winning playoff games. So.
Yep.
And that's why I put the predictions in here, because I know we're going to have content coming out throughout the week. But yeah, the big kind of preview show will be Sunday night. So we'll get the predictions in here since DJ is gonna go sell us out for his NFL playoff game here. But
sell us out for a Super Bowl, another trip to another Super Bowl. It's been a little bit. It's been a little bit.
4 whole years or whatever the hell it's been.
God, they're like zombies. Those damn
I know they won't die. How are they back at this again? This is crazy. They're showing all of the trophies. I'm like, damn, they're back again already.
I will say Drake May is a special player, man. That kicked the
Or Gallus, 3 field goals.
Yeah,
there we go.
I also saw Leonard Taylor was on the field for us.
That's right, he is. He did sign with them as well. He's been playing better with you guys than we did with.
Yeah, than in Miami.
Yeah.
In Miami too. Yeah, no kidding.
It's like Chantel Henderson played better in the NFL than he did here.
True, man. So true. DJ, give us who's your X factor, keys to the game, and then we'll talk predictions after.
for each side of the ball, or just one guy, or because I can go.
Just give me a name.
However you want to answer it. Yeah, let's just do names.
Yeah.
Give a name.
Ooh, let's see. Ruben Bain, and I know that's like a stupid answer. Like, yeah, obviously he's one of the best players in the country, but for me, it goes back to the timing of Indiana and the timing and how precise they run their offense. I guess Ruben Bain and Ahmad Moten, those two, in my opinion, are the X factors to the game, because if they can disrupt Mendoza, disrupt that timing, then this game can be a runaway in Miami's favor. If they can't get home, if they can't get to the quarterback, and they let Indiana run that offense, run that machine, back shoulder fades, throw here, get here, then it could be a long night. So for me, Ruben Bain and Ahmad Moten are two guys that really are the keys to this game.
What about you, Vish?
I'm going to go where DJ should have gone, which is Alex Bauman. Like Lofton, I saw the
Hey, I had them last game.
Yeah, well, Lofton got knocked out of the last game, and I don't know if he's going to play or not. One of the things I noticed, again, I've been probably consuming too much football, but rewatching our game at Ole Miss, several of our big plays came because they overreacted to the tight end, including the bomb to Marion. The safety came out to double Bauman, who we never throw to. So I don't know what he was doing. And then also one of the big third down conversions on the last drive. Actually, it wasn't the third down; it was the second and long to get us down to the 8 after we called whatever that was, where Beck ran into Marty's ass and fell over. I don't know what the hell that play call was, but
I don't know what that was.
The next play after that, if you watch, their linebacker vacated that spot to double Bauman. I think Indiana's going to watch that, say, don't mess with the tight end, focus on their shooters way to throw, and it's going to open up Bauman. He's going to have some big catches and some big plays in this game, and I think he's going to be a key to opening that defense up, because we've tried to start throwing to him more, and it's just not clicking, and I think it'll click here.
Maybe. I hope so. I mean, I like and if Lofton plays, I think that's great. But Baum's going to have one hell of a game, and Luka Gilbert and everybody else that contributes there is going to have.
Yeah, Luka Gilbert is the backup tight end without Lofton in there, because obviously Brock Schott's on the other sideline. Chris Leclerc said Mark Fletcher.
Mark Fletcher is the X factor, huh? Blue, what's your X factor?
And by the way, I don't know if you guys saw this just dropped that Coy Parrish.
Coy Parrish committed the
Yeah. I know everyone thought he was coming here.
Yeah,
we filled that position over the weekend, though. We're going to talk about it soon.
I think we're good there. Go ahead.
Well, mine was going to be Mark Fletcher, but I'm going to change it. I think it's going to be Carson Beck. I think he's going to be the key to the game. And I just think he's going to be able to manage the game. He's going to be able to call it. He'll be able to make reads. And I think if anybody can figure out, the stunting and some of the packages that Indiana brings, it's somebody like that who's watched 1 billion hours of film at high level film. And so I think it would be him. What about you, Jazz Santana?
I'm going to go a little bit unorthodox here. I'm going to go a little bit different. And I'm going to say that because it looks like we like to do these kind of things. And I'm going to say Gerard Pringle comes in and he actually plays this game and has a monster game.
That'd be neat.
Catching the ball out of the backfield. I think he maybe scores. He scores in the backfield off of like a wheel play. He's known to do that really well. So I'm going to go Gerard Pringle. He's going to have a big game and help this offense really open up a little bit.
Listen, that's a good.
Why not, right? Throw a little curveball in there.
It's as good as pick as any. I can see DJ's face right now when we pick. I tell you, I know he ain't picking Miami.
Yeah, it's a big time.
He's got that Indiana look in his face
the whole
night.
Well, let's see. What do you got, DJ? Give us your prediction, big guy.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
All right.
Or at
Miami 34, Indiana 31, Miami game-winning field goal.
Oh,
Marvin Davis in the house. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, that was good.
I can't survive that, man. I can't.
I can't either, but that's
actually if it's tied, it's fine. If it's like the force, actually, I've sat through that because
I got nothing to break at the stadium, man. I'm gonna rest it, so I can't afford that kind of shit, man.
Boy, DJ, you came out of left field because I was reading your eyes the whole time.
Damn.
No,
You
but
had
like
those
that's
Indiana
just
eyes, just like you had Ole Miss eyes last week.
I mean, honestly, I think that Ole Miss team is better offensively than Indiana. I know all the numbers say otherwise, but I was not sure about Ole Miss.
Actually, no, their offensive numbers are the best. Like they're top 5 in every statistic.
Yeah, I was really worried about Ole Miss last week, so I'm glad we took care of them.
Nish, what do you got, man?
I've got the Canes winning 27-10.
Ooh, okay.
27-10. Okay.
So shutting down Mendoza, that would be ideal. Yeah.
I think just like Ohio State did. I think we're similar to them, but I think we're a little bit better on the lines. I don't think we'll turn the ball over the way Ohio State did. I don't think Curtis is going to miss a 20-yard field goal, which is how Indiana won that game, people forget. So I think, and I do think, I know the crowd is not going to, it's going to be more 50-50.
Yeah.
This city is on fire right now. They're going to land at the airport. There is Miami Hurricanes shit all over the airport when you land there. Good luck in the playoffs. They hose the plane down when they landed. Like this whole town is behind, and they're gonna have to work in that atmosphere in a neutral site. You get to the stadium. I mentioned the nerves. You know, there is a level of comfort when you're like, I played a million games. We come here every weekend for the players versus them. It's new. I do think that matters in terms of getting off to a good start and preventing Indiana from doing what they've done to the last two opponents, which is choke the life out of them. And I'm curious what Indiana does when we hit them in the face instead.
27-10. I like it. What do you got, Blue?
I'm waiting on my show and tell. That's when I'm going to reveal my score.
Your score?
Stay tuned for that.
Wow.
He's going to keep the viewers for the whole show.
My favorite part of the show right here coming up.
I like it. All right. I guess I'll give mine then, right? It's I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 27-20 Miami. 27-20.
I need double-digit scores because anything like my score or 27-20, I don't know if I could do it.
27-20. I can't change it now because then it throws everything off. And
okay, fair enough.
By the way, you guys failed to recognize the fact that I got last week's score right on the show.
Yeah, you did. You got it right.
31-27. If you guys don't remember, go back and watch the show. 31-27, I guess. All right.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you failed to recognize it. You're hosting. Just say it.
All right. I'm just saying.
On the rare occasions I get a prediction right, I interrupt you with the intro. I'm like, nah, first we're going to point out that I actually got something right. So you got to own that, man.
Just don't break any tables this week, Jazz, and nobody will get hurt. Everything will be good.
You know what? As long as
if he breaks his table from the stadium, that would be impressive. So.
That would be impressive.
Oh yeah, that's right.
None of that. We're gonna take it easy, but
maybe the after party. The after party, maybe some table breaking. Hopefully for good, not for anger.
We're still doing our fireball shots. All right, that's all I gotta say. Haven't stopped doing it. We ain't stopping now, baby. Before we get to Blues show and tell, just some quick transfer portal news. I know everybody's freaking out that we didn't get Sam Levitt and we didn't get this one and we didn't get Superman and LeBron James and Michael Jordan and the rest of those guys. But since you guys are a bunch of degenerates and you know and you want to know some information if you didn't know already, Miami did some damage though this weekend in the transfer portal. Picked up 4 really good players. They've got some other guys that they're looking at right now that are some potential big pickups as well for them. But the first one we'll go kind of in order a little bit. Is Omar Thornton, the safety defensive back from Boston College, who's a local kid, comes back down to play in South Florida and play for the Miami Hurricanes. He is, they call him Thumper Thornton for a reason. The kid can lay the wood. He's a great safety coming out of Boston College, coming back down here to play for Miami, which really excited about. I know a lot of people were talking about Coy Parrish, the DB from Minnesota because of his ties with Heatherman, and he's a very good player. It looks like he's signed with Oregon, but I'll tell you what, I don't think Omar Thornton takes a backseat to Parrish or anybody else, man. The kid is a ball player. I know, Blue, you probably know him from his days playing down here in South Florida, but he's a guy that can – I know a lot of people think, oh, he's going to replace Keontae Scott. I think he's actually more in the mold of a Jacoby Thomas that can play that Keontae Scott role as well.
That's a great comparison, yeah.
So, Blue, what's your thought on bringing Omar Thornton back before we talk about the other guys? Because he's a local kid, so I know you must be excited.
I watched him in high school. went to Western, went a little bit to Heritage. He's a really good football talent, very aggressive, good size, hips very loose. He could cover, he could hit. So he's very versatile. He's going to be a guy that they bring in there, and he's ready to go, plug and play. And that's what they need for, as kids move on. If you're going to play this portal game, you bring in kids like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was a very solid player because I caught all his games on
right.
TV.
Get up there. That's right.
And Boston College always has this ability to churn out like one or two really, really good defensive players on shitty overall teams. And Thornton fits the bill here on that. So, I mean, he's a very good player, very technically sound, a thumper, like you guys alluded to. So, this is another great pickup, and I'm glad he's coming here.
Nice. Yeah, super excited about bringing that kid down. I think he fits Corey Heatherman's defense as well. So another big time pickup, to two wide receiver pickups. I know everybody was, the Cam Coleman thing and this and the other. I think Miami did a great job in picking up two guys that essentially are they're kind of like spitting images of guys that we're losing, Keelan Marion and CJ Daniels. It's kind of crazy. Vendravius Jacobs out of South Carolina, and Cam Vaughn, who's another really good kid, good ball player out of West Virginia. Now, the thoughts on Cam Vaughn, I know a lot of people say, well, he's kind of his attitude. I'm not worried about that. If Mario Cristobal wants to bring that kid in, according to some scouts, some NFL scouts, he's an NFL type player already, NFL type receiver. Needs a little bit of polishing, and I think that one more year in college, I think he's going to do him really well. A lot of pro teams really like his play. But Vendravius say that 5 times fast. Vendravius Jacobs is a kid that I really like because, again, you need that kid that can take the top off of defenses. He's a speedster, but he's also long. He can also go up and grab a lot of balls. And even with the so-so play of Lenore Sellers this year, he still looked pretty good in that offense. And I think that he's a great player to come in and play again in Shannon Dawson's offense and Cam Vaughn as well. So really excited about bringing those guys in. And actually, Vish, I want to get your take on those wide receivers. Are you happy with bringing in guys like Jacobs and Cam Vaughn over here?
Yeah, and the Canes are replacing a lot, right? Keelan Marion and CJ Daniels are huge on this team. I know Malachi, right, justifiably gets a lot of the attention, but those two guys are huge. Yep. So you need some of that experience. You're still going to have likely JoJo and Josh Morris. There's talent on the team, but you need more depth there, and that definitely fills that bill. I mean, Malachi's kind of his own thing too, right?
Yeah, he's his own. He's
a Swiss Army knife and his own player. So I don't even consider him a receiver, or he's just a football player. So we look at the depth chart. They do need a lot of help at receiver. These are two really good guys that have again played at a high level already, so you can plug them right in. That'll supplement JoJo, Josh Moore, kind of as your traditional receivers next year.
Plus, they're bringing in the best wide receiver class in high school this year, right?
Yeah,
but I mean, you get your Malachi Tonys, right, or maybe you're only one exactly like that. But you get freshmen that are kind of ready day one, and you get others that aren't, even if they end up being much better down the road. So you definitely needed to address this with some experience.
Absolutely. I love it. I love the fact of having Wingo and
Milan Paris.
Milan Paris. Jeez, how can I forget
Don't forget that name?
Yeah, how can I forget that kid's name? Milan
Paris.
Hey,
Ventravius is another homeboy, Vero Beach High School, was at Fort Pierce Westwood. Right? Really good athletes, tremendous, comes from that same high school that produced Charles Johnson, a former University of Miami catcher.
Yes,
to segue at Fort Pierce Westwood, then went to Vero Beach and did a really good job. Yeah, he's good. And Cam's really good as well. Like you said, you liken them to the kids that we brought in last year. Marion's definitely. Ventravius is a lot more. He could go a lot more vertical. He's got some good speed. I think he played a little quarterback in high school, so he's very versatile.
Awesome. I love that. And then last but not
By
least,
the way, since you name drop baseball, Jets, 32 days to opening day.
There you go. Good segue. So
football ran right into the baseball season because we're playing.
Get out of here with that.
Usually football's
They're ranked
done
20th. They're ranked 20th.
Yeah, they got some couple different rankings, but they're in the 20s for the most part. Which
they're going to Omaha is what's happening.
Yeah, we're going back to Omaha. And then last but not least, the kid that we were in it with last year's recruiting cycle up until the very end decided to go to Ohio State, but now he entered the transfer portal. Big, strong kid, man. I'm excited about this one, right? Defensive lineman, Jarquez Carter. I know, Blue, we spoke about him a little bit before last year's cycle, how good this kid can be. I believe he's a former 5-star defensive lineman from last year's class. And now he's entering the transfer portal, and he has committed to Miami. So an Ohio State kid comes over to Miami. What are your thoughts, DJ and Blue? I know you guys cover a little Big Ten football. If you got to see Carter play, he played 7 games this year for the Buckeyes. So not a ton of games, but enough to say that this is a kid that could probably develop into a really, really good football player here.
We kind of put Jarquez on the map from Newberry, Florida, right outside of Gainesville when he was in 9th grade. He came to our camp and did extremely well. He was one of the MVPs for the young team. In fact, he came to the same camp and shared the MVP with Ezekiel Marceline. Ooh. So there you go. A little bit of Florida knowledge. It's always good to have me on the show because I know a little bit about Florida.
That's the only reason we got you on the show. Like,
it's good to have somebody that's seen the kid from the beginning and not just jumping on the bandwagon in the 99th hour. Oh yeah, by the way, now in fact, I was just talking about him today because there's a kid up at Bradford County who works in that same grouping in Gainesville as he did. And really good talented kid. And I think he comes in. DJ, I don't know if you've had a chance to watch him, but the kid's a little bit of a space eater and very strong too. Very technical.
Yeah, very technically sound, very strong, like you said, space eater, and he moves really well. He can get to the passer, and it's very unique when you find that combination of quickness and space eating all in one. And very strong kid. Can, like I said, can get to the passer. He fits exactly what this current defensive line looks like that type of mold. You have Bain and those guys trying to impact quarterback and things like that. Well, this kid can do it as well. And in that way, I think he's a really good fit for this defense. And it's just another asset in what is a very good defensive lineman moving forward, even with the departures of some of the players now.
They're going to need some depth at that defensive tackle position. I think he could potentially be that. But he because of his quickness, he can do a little bit of both, kind of like an Armando Blunt type of guy. So maybe a little bit bigger than him. So that's why I think he might be better suited as a tackle. But the kid's a big time player, and I think that depending on what happens with some of the guys that we have on, Ahmad Moten specifically, I know Justin Scott is starting to really pick up the pace and become a really good player. So you bring a guy like Carter in to supplement that and help him develop, right? Because he's still got three years of football left, which is great to hear. So if he can develop him into a monster, then you've got something special there as well. The biggest question is, before we get into show and tell, is obviously the quarterback position, and everybody's kind of freaking out. Look, at this point, it is what it is, right? Bo Pribula, I know I was talking about him a little bit before the show. He committed to Virginia a little while ago.
That guy sucks.
So I don't think he does.
He's not very good.
No, he's not. I'm sorry. No.
Different opinions on him.
That's exactly the type of player, I would say, just ride with Nick along. If you're going to, not that that is not with that Virginia.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
I would rather roll with Emory Williams at this point than him.
Yeah.
Whoa. That was DJ, not me.
Hey, you make outlandish statements all the time. I'd
rather give Nick a shot than bring Pribilla in, but I'm not pulling that from DJ.
I think from everybody's thoughts and from what everybody says, it's pretty much all in on Ty Simpson now. Hoping he does not, he jumps out of the declaration for the draft, and and comes to play for Miami. I think there's a lot to there's a lot of a lot of talks that Miami has not stopped communicating with Ty Simpson, and that he is a really good possibility that he will end up coming back to college and entering the portal and playing. He's got until Wednesday to pull his name out of the draft. So we'll see what happens there. But
I will say I think he's either here or he's in the draft. I don't think he's going back to Bama or anything.
No, he's not going back to Bama, but he is from Tennessee, so there's a positive. I know Tennessee has been in the talks with him as well, but I think right now Miami is hot on his.
I think if you look at it again, like this is someone asked earlier if like the if the run to the championship game has impacted our recruiting. We already had a top recruiting class coming in, but this is the type of stuff where it impacts your recruiting. And look at us versus Tennessee. What realistically gives them a chance to win a championship next year really raises profile. It's us, which is not something you could have said anytime in the last 20 years, but we're going to be one of the favorites to win the championship next year, and Tennessee is not. And if he really wants to raise his profile, because that's the reason to come out to college, this is the place to do it.
Yeah, the problem is right now that there isn't many big time quarterbacks coming out this year, and apparently the quarterback class is bigger.
He might go pro. He might go pro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I think if it's going to compel him to not do that for exactly the point you're making, that this is kind of a weak quarterback class, so he'll probably get drafted higher. So if he's coming back, he's got to really raise his profile.
Right.
This is the place.
If anybody has seen what we've done with the last two, I think is a strong possibility.
Yeah, and actually, I was thinking about that as we were talking, Jazz. So do you remember? I was sitting in your living room while Jakari Brown was laying an egg against Rutgers when Cam Ward announced he was going into the draft. It all happened when we were sitting there.
Not with
we were
you
like,
guys.
where are we going with this program? We watched that game together in that Bowl. And then the same time, that same day, Cam Ward released his video of him saying he's entering the draft. And you and I were like, where's this? We just lost. This is the quarterback, this guy who couldn't complete a pass. What are we going to do as a program? That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then Cam Ward came in here and changed everything.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah,
I remember that day.
Sheena's here right now. She's like, I remember that too.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. We just lost a bowl game to Rutgers on a baseball diamond. Had no quarterbacks.
She'll never let me live it down. She says I fell asleep on you while we were watching the game, which I probably did.
Everyone did.
I think I did, honestly.
I don't remember. I remember we couldn't complete passes. We ran the worst 2-minute drill since we ran the worst 2-minute drill in history in the Emerald Bowl in 2008. Go look that one up. But we went 10 yards in 2 minutes. It was miraculous. But anyway, you gotta look that. Freshman Ja'Cory Harris did not know how to manage the clock. But I'm telling you, you gotta look that up. It's wild how bad we ran that 2-minute drill. But so I think to Jazz, I know you've been beating stuff. Everyone's freaking out. We went from there to here. We'll be fine.
I agree. I think we'll be fine. So
shout out to Cane Lake.
Yeah, Cane Lake. What's up? Thank you for everybody who's come on the show. I guess it's about that time, Blue.
Okay, let's do it. I got
technology and prediction and show and tell, everything together with Blue. Let's go, baby.
And you got a bonus, okay?
Oh boy.
57 years ago today, I was in the Orange Bowl for the Super Bowl. The Joe Namath guarantee game.
Wow.
So there you go, right there. Mint condition until my hands got onto it.
Blue, what were you, like 3 years old?
Yeah, I was young. But we got there, and this just a little bit of a bonus. But
very cool. That's cool. I like that.
That's insane. That's crazy.
Here we go.
That's so cool. That's not even cool. That's incredible. Yeah.
42 years ago, the face of the University of Miami changed. In a game that Miami came in as a 10-point underdog in the national championship game to a team that everybody said was the best in the history of college football. There was no way on this earth, whether they played the game in Miami or Lincoln, Nebraska, would they even come close to beating Nebraska. Here you go, brother. 50 years ago, Miami, Nebraska. The Hurricanes win it 31-30 on a blocked 2-point conversion. There you go.
Oh, my God. Blue, if I have to sit through a 31-30 game.
I mean, there's no way they'd go for two.
By the time
just kicked extra point. There's overtime now. There's overtime now. They wouldn't go for two.
Oh my gosh!
I'm still floored that you show me the Joe Namath guarantee program. Like that just blows my mind.
Too bad, because tomorrow I got the next year the Green Bay Packer Oakland Raider game. So
wow.
But I got that. But I thought you'd be more impressed with the Orange Bowl.
I mean, come on now.
I mean, when you know that Colts
Irving Fryer against Glenn Dennison.
No.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
Glenn Dennison would have that touchdown and put Miami up 17-0 in the first half.
Yeah, and Irving Fryer was who the 2-point pass was intended for.
That's right.
Did not make the catch.
How about that, huh?
Former Patriot.
But actually, Blue, that Super Bowl III program, very important for the Dolphins, too, because that caused the Colts to fire Don Shula.
Yeah. In 1970, they fired
Don Shula because of that.
If we did a Dolphin show, I could do a lot of that stuff because I have the first ever game program from the Dolphins era with Don Shula. So.
And he came down here and built a monster, won all the Super Bowls. All the success the Dolphins ever had came from that man. So,
DJ, I even have the programs with the Boston Patriots and their old logo.
Do you have the 2002 St. Louis Rams, New England Patriots?
Got it. Got all that. Come on, I'm a Ram fan.
Yeah, well, I figured. I didn't know if you threw that one away.
You're playing in 10-degree weather this week.
I mean, it's not all of the evidence of what your team did before that game was destroyed, DJ. Some of it still exists.
Some of it does.
But that's it. So there you go.
The illegally recording of the practices and all that, Goodell got rid of. But the rest of it,
I mean, you still have to dust off your trophies from the '90s. So I'm not too worried about that, Fish.
Hey man.
Oh well.
Not everyone can be America's team. So.
I thought that 50th anniversary program would be the hit of the evening.
Yeah, that was.
I loved it.
Yeah.
As Luckbuck said, the Holy Grail of show and tell, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he saved it for the championship week. Look at this. He's been holding back on us.
I like
gems.
Yeah. I like it.
I tried to look for Miami's Indiana. Now, this is true. I was at the Indiana-Miami game when they played, and the rain was so bad that it drenched my program and my pennant that I bought that night. So,
oh, wow.
But, short story, the next year, my parents took me out we were in California, to the Rose Bowl, USC, Indiana, and I got the program, the pink sheet that the Miami News used to have. I got it signed by all the Indiana guys. So, last time they were in a big bowl.
That's cool.
Wow.
So, that's it.
Listen, we got so much more going on.
Kyle Schwarber's going to be there again. He was here last week.
Oh, my God. Whatever.
Randall L., Kyle Schwarber, all the guys that sat through losing seasons.
Boo to him and disappointing Red Sox news lately, so not too happy.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention to them.
I'm not going to talk about them right now. We're talking positive.
There's only one thing that matters. Only one thing matters. Just win that game a week from today.
That's it. That's all that matters. Like I said, Jordan Seaton jumped in the portal. We got a lot.
Just now, a couple of minutes ago. Nothing really to talk about yet.
Yeah, we got a lot of things going on. So just keep it locked here for that. Plus, we'll be covering the national championship this weekend as well, as myself and Vish have a little bit of access with the media and stuff. So we're really excited to be able to cover them this weekend before the big game on Monday. We will have a nice Sunday night show as well to get everybody ready for the game. So make sure you keep it locked. We'll talk more about some, tickets and parking stuff there as well, which is obviously an absolute shit show right now with what's going on with the parking and the tickets and everything. So make sure that you figure out a way to. No, don't do it. Don't rob a bank. Just if you can't. It's expensive. Let's just put it that way. So make sure you guys, if you guys didn't get your tickets now, your season ticket holders, make sure you're renewed before tomorrow and Wednesday.
Good call.
Right now it's probably a little too late, but you never know. See if you can get some tickets, some extra tickets. So we'll see what happens. But make sure you keep it locked here. As I said, the Six Ring Kings show every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Except this one, it's going to be Sunday night. We'll give you a time soon. Follow us at Six Ring Kings on X. Subscribe to the 5 Reasons Canes podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is you get it. Make sure you log in, go to YouTube, and go to the 5 Reasons Sports Network and check us out, the Six Rings Canes there, part of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. And make sure you keep it locked this weekend, as we will be talking a little bit more about Miami Hurricanes football as they are set to play in the national championship game against Indiana, baby. Can't believe we're saying that after 23 long years, but here we are, and let's go kick some ass. Make sure you keep it locked again, and we'll see you guys this weekend. Adios. Go Canes.
Go Canes.
The Six Ring Canes Show. Yeah. The Six Ring Canes Show. Yeah. The Six Rings Canes Show. You know.